We are live. The hell we doing? Oops. Yo, what's up, George? What's going down in the house tonight?
Tonight, it is just the two of us, and Sebastian Bonet is going to be making an appearance coming up soon, and we're just going to be, talking a little shop, do what we do.
Where's it from? Tonight is your night, bro. Where's that from? What movie? Twins, Danny DeVito.
Remember when the intro, Jesus.
Let's get it.
We are the only show for independents all around, giving you a platform to spread your word all over town. Catch the Craze is the place to promote to your fans with the Dreamer, Medina, and Sam the Crazy Man. Subscribe to our show and never miss an episode. It's time to get your mans, listen to us on the go. Updated every week, we never miss a day. Join the squad, come on in. It's time to catch the Craze. If you are an independent, catch the Craze. Making moves on your own, catch the Craze. On your grind in the streets, catch the Craze. Join the movement, catch the Craze.
Yeah, George, we did it again. Come on now. You know you want to do it. Catch the Craze. Welcome to Catch Craze Podcast. I'm your host with the most, Sam the Crazy Man Vera, and I am with
George the Dreamer Medina. Welcome back, everyone, to another exciting episode of Catch the Craze. We are live once again. It is our first of the month Wednesday live show, which is what we used to do before we started going live just about every Wednesday, Tuesdays, and Wednesday night.
Dude it.
That's right. But here we are. We are live tonight. We are going to be just talking shop, just me and Sam, and we may have. Actually, no, we are going to have, from what I understand, Sebastian Bonet will be joining us in a few minutes, talking to us, and we're going to be talking shop. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy.
Nothing crazy. Just going to be hanging out tonight. Tonight is your night, bro.
That's it. But before we talk about this quote, make sure you subscribe if you haven't yet. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Comment below. Hit the bell so that you know when we are live, when we're doing these live shows. You can always be on top of that. But yeah, so damn, I haven't seen Twins in a very long time. Tonight is your night.
We're both he's gonna get lucky, and Danny DeVito.
Oh, that's right.
He's coming out the shower. He has the robe on, whatever. He's getting ready with his hairy ass chest, right? He's like, "It's your night, bro."
That's
and
right.
He's telling his brother. He goes, "It's your time," and he's all nervous and bashful, big old ape. And yeah, that was a good movie, bro.
Yo, that was a good movie, man. Yeah. Twins was a good movie. Nice throwback.
There was a time where Stallone, the Schwarzenegger, he did comedy, he did freaking action.
Kindergarten Cop is not a tumor.
Jingle All the Way.
I
love that with Sinbad. That was one of my favorites.
That's right.
That was one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about Sinbad.
Yeah.
Damn. Throwbacks.
Sinbad's one of the most underrated comedians. I always say he's one of the funniest guys out there and never had to use a curse word. I appreciate you, Sinbad.
Sinbad, yeah. How many specials did Sinbad? I remember watching one of his specials. I don't remember too many of his specials.
Yeah, he takes reality, real life situations. It makes it funny without having to use profanity or anything like that.
No, he was a good comedian. He was a very good comedian.
And the way, and then the way he mimics the kids and whatever, he's hilarious. He's hilarious. Yeah. So we're down to 6 days, man. 6 days left of the campaign.
6 days.
At 9 p.m. tonight, it'll be 5 days.
9 or 10?
10 o'clock. 10 o'clock p.m.
10 o'clock
your time, 9 p.m. my time.
Yes.
So at 9 p.m. Central Time, it'll be 5 days. And so we're hoping that, in fact, let me show. There it is. Bang! There you is. There's dude.
It is. 1650. 1650.
Yeah.
67 backers, 6 days to go. We need to get to that, 150 mark, is it? 150 backers?
150 backers you get to. I raffle off one of the 6-inch figures. Or if we get to 5K, whichever comes first. Anything is possible because there's 117 people that are watching the campaign. And out of that, I think 88 have not pledged yet. So that's a good population. I'm hoping that they're waiting for because a lot of people don't want to have, they back it in the beginning of the month and they forget, and then the money's not in the account, right? So a lot of people wait for the last day, and some people wait for the last hour, and then they back the last hour because they just wanted to be deducted from the credit cards. I understand that, but yeah. So
that is why Kickstarter needs to do something about it. They need to just hold that amount.
Yeah, take it out.
They can't use it, and if it doesn't, you don't get funded, then you release it. And nothing happens.
That's what Indiegogo does. There's no problem.
No, Indiegogo just takes your joint, bro. Indiegogo's not holding anything. That money is gone from your account as soon as you play.
Oh yeah. No, but I'm saying, but if it doesn't, if you do all or nothing, it goes right back to you. If you do whatever it is whoever pledged and whatever you got, you got. You got a nickel, you get 4 cents.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, Kickstarter can easily do what rental companies do. Like if you go to Hertz or Enterprise and you rent the car, they put a $250 hold on your card that you can't use, and then when you return the car, they release it. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. They just need to do something like that. But anyway, so there are a lot of people waiting, and hopefully within the next, hopefully it doesn't take that long, but in the last 2 days,
He's waiting for my welfare check.
Sam, son.
Government cheese, bro.
Tacho, brother. But I'm in there like a wedgie.
Wow. Speaking of government cheese,
I thought you were gonna say speaking of wedgies.
No, hell no. You couldn't catch me. Yo, they tried. I was like, I seen all my boys get caught up by the big. It's always the older kids on the block. They used to get the younger kids, and next year, you're hanging on a fence. I'm like, oh no.
Hanging on a fence.
Yeah, they get you by your underwear and put you on those steel rod fences, and you're like this.
That's some strong underwear, dog.
Yo, I was like Carl Lewis, like I was out.
They used to have something called Freshman Fridays in high school.
You get knocked out. No, Freshman Fridays was wedgies. It was you went and you just knocked somebody out at my school. It was like, Freshman Fridays, you weren't the first. So there was a rule. I already knew what was up because I grew up in the block, and I went to the same high school that my brothers went to before me. So I already got the scoop. Freshman Fridays, don't be the first one out the school door, right? Let the other kids go out first because someone's getting jacked up, right? So so let that happen, and then you always never go against walls, because that's what they get you. It's like always on alert because it was crazy.
It's rough. It was rough. Growing up was rough back in the day.
Yes, man. You had to survive in the neighborhood. Oh my God! And the last day of school, when school ends for the year for summer, the last day of school, Revenge Day. Oh, that's when everybody got revenge and everybody they were waiting to get, and you just seen squads outside. Like, oh hell no!
It was like the purge out there.
I was staying in the garbage can until everybody's gone at nighttime. Like, cuckoo, they're all gone. I'm like, all right, I'm good. Let's go.
Garbage can. That's amazing.
Yeah, no way. But what the hell? How did we get there?
What the hell are we talking about? Oh, because you were talking about welfare checks.
So I was talking about government cheese. Yeah,
and you were talking about we went from government cheese to wedgies, away from government cheese.
You ever had the big block of government cheese?
No, I was fortunate.
I had my family member extended family who was on the assisted living program, and they would get the government, and they would bring a block of cheese to the house. And I was a big cheese lover, so I would cut about an inch thick of cheese, and I would put it on a slice of bread on a piece of plate. Put it in the microwave, nuke that damn thing, and you see it bubble, and the edges get all crispy and hard, and then the center get nice and soft and bubbly, and then you prick, and then you eat it. Yeah, we see you. Stop acting up, and then so we're like, oh my goodness, it was delicious. Yo, it was delicious. Oh man, delicious and nutritious.
Oh man, the stories for days.
For days. Yeah, all I know is that I started itching. And I was like, what the hell's that? And I was like, oh, nerds. I didn't have my nerd repellent. So, so we got a nerd in the house.
He broke it in. I see him live on Instagram. I'm like, where you at, man? You shouldn't be on the show right now. He's like, I am.
He's like, I was about to go to dinner with my wife and walking out to the car, and I see him standing. I said, what are you doing out here, Sebastian? This is Texas. He goes, I want to be in the show. I was like, oh damn, you can call me. Now we have a special guest coming on the show all the way from Nerdville. So we got the man himself, El CEO of Nerdstravaganza.
Damn, what is up? C Bass, what up, brother?
Listen, I'm hitting you guys from Nerdvana. There we go. Here we are.
Let's keep it going.
Yeah, I got the Instagram live. People watching over here at Instagram live. Like, what's up, guys? Ready to catch the Craze right now.
Oh, man,
everything, guys.
What's going on?
Oh, man, it's been a minute.
For those who don't know, we have Mr. Sebastian Bonet right now from 1/3 of Nerds of the Round on Catch the Craze. He's hijacking the show. He's trying to come in here and just bombard us with his nerdum. What's going on, brother?
Listen, man, there's no way to bombard. It's just I'm just walking by as a casual guest. That's it. I'm kind of like on yacht turf, so I don't know, man. You know,
and you solo today, man. You don't even have to.
I ain't got the backup.
You ain't got no backup. You're being real nice right now.
No.
Like, hey guys.
Man, it's been good. It's been a busy couple of days, weeks, and all that. Just like just getting down in the lab, just creating, trying to get where you guys are at. We wrapped up a fun show with nerds last night. We talked the Peacemaker finale and Attack on Titan. Ramping up for Beyond Con because that's coming back. Virtual show August 20th and 21st. And again, I mean, I'm now coloring my comic, so working on the color. So I am deep in the lab, as you can see, working, and that's it, man.
Sam, you moved out of Jersey and Sebastian moved into Jersey. I think there might be some correlation there. Like,
I'm allergic to nerds.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, that's it. Sam was like, yo, we're moving to another part of the country. Just get away from you guys.
I was like, I had to go get me some calamine lotion. I was like, what the hell?
He was like, too many people coming from the Bronx. We gotta go. We out. These nerds are coming.
Boy, I'm going over there with the guys with the guns. Forget this.
I know this kid went to Texas. Jeez.
So he went to Texas, and I came to Jersey and discovered Texas toast. So I don't know, man. There's a connection there.
So how you like it? How you like the new place, Sebastian?
I'm loving it. This was a best kept secret, Sam. I don't know what, bro. I mean, I'm loving Jersey. I mean, a lot of people's like, bro, how you live? I'm like, my rent is a lot better than what it was in New York. I don't live in a small Matchbox anymore.
Yeah, moving on up.
Well, yeah, it all depends on where you live in Jersey.
Yeah.
Because if you go to West New York in New Jersey, you're gonna be in a Matchbox, and you're gonna be, like everyone's like on top of each other. But if you go further out, you're gonna have more space, and save a lot more money.
I understand the meme now that people share now that it goes, this is what people think New Jersey looks like, and it shows like a whole industrial park and a bridge, but they go, this is what actually New Jersey looks like instead of parks and all. I'm like, I get the meme now. I really do get it.
Yeah. You're deep though, right? See, like how far away from New York are you?
I'm like 30 minutes from AC, an hour from Philly, and about 2-hour drive from New York. What's up, guys, over Instagram? I'm like an hour from like Baltimore too, and all that. So it's like, I love it out here. It's like I'm looking at possibly houses around here too, because they love the area. It's just really beautiful, nice community of people, and again, it's probably the best area to move leaving from New York, And then I got my
Tone, right?
yeah. Tone moved out here first, and I came out here to help him. And he said he knows that we were trying to leave that building too, because we lived in Parkchester, and the pandemic actually showed a lot of the cracks living in New York, because it's like you really live in New York for the nightlife. That's what it is.
Dude, I say it all the time. New York is for like the young or the rich.
Yeah.
Like that's it. If you ain't one of those two in those two groups, you don't want to be in New York, bro. It's too expensive. It's crazy.
Bro, what I paid for that tiny concrete apartment in the Bronx that you hammer a nail in the ceiling and it falls apart. I'm paying the same thing. I got 2 bathrooms. One bathroom's the size of my old bedroom.
Damn,
I'm like, what did I live in? How did I do this?
Right, and that's what one of the things is like. I remember when I met my wife, she wanted to move into the city, and I was like, "There's no way." I said, one thing, because I grew up. Even though I grew up in Jamaica, Queens, when my mom was around, we lived in a home, and then when we did have an apartment, they were huge apartments, but we lived in Kew Gardens, and I mean the ceilings were like 12 feet tall, whatever. So I knew what we paid, and I know what the rent was in the city. I was like, we're going to be living check to check if we live in the city. It's not a quality of life. I said I'd rather move out. So I went to Jersey to live with her.
Yeah.
And and it was when something happens when you go cross that bridge or that tunnel, just like a sigh of relief.
It's really weird, because it's like, again, whenever you used to cross the bridge, you crossed over into New Jersey, like I don't see myself living here, because it's like that was always the New York thing. Like I can't see myself living in New Jersey, but when you start to actually think about the quality of life, what you're living, what you were spending money on, and then like I took the whole year. I was like, dude, because at my last job, I made some really stupid good money over there, and it was like, where did it all go? Oh yeah, rent, bills, make sure the electric was on. What was I was paying about 2 and change just for parking alone every month. And so it's like it was actually paying when you add the parking on top of the rent, we were actually paying about 2,000. Dave, it's Maze Landing. But yeah, it was we were paying about $2,000 in that alone, and that was just between the rent and parking. That didn't include all the other utilities and all that. I was like, yeah, you're wasting so much money living in that city. New York is a beautiful city. It's the city I grew up in, but it's like when you look at the quality of living and like you said, yeah, it's right. It's for the young or the rich. And I know people who lucked out where parents, they purchased their homes and all that, purchased these apartments. Like I have a friend whose parents was able to get 2 condos, combine them together. It's like, yeah, it's like, if you were lucky and you had it, and you can live in New York. But like it made me sick to my stomach. I was watching this YouTube channel, and it's like, shout is like these guys who are doing this YouTube channel is like this real estate guy. And he was showing like, oh, you can live in New York on a budget. And then he showed one of the apartments. The dude is like 6 foot tall and was able to stretch one arm here, one arm here. And there was like this small of a gap between one of the walls. And that unit was going for like $2,000 a month.
Crazy.
Oh, bananas.
Crazy.
And there was no bathroom in the unit. And there was one. It was like, dude, it was nuts.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Yeah. The mortgage.
So what he said, yeah, it's true, bro.
And what's crazy is, George came out here to Texas. My house here compared to the one in New Jersey, I paid the same exact amount for this house versus the one in Jersey, and I pay I save over $1,000 in mortgage payments here. So, but how big is this house compared to the other one, George?
It's huge, bro. The ceilings. I mean, you walk in there and you feel like, oh wow, like you look up and you just can't believe
it's crazy
how much space there is. It's insane. Listen,
2-car garage.
Yeah.
My bathroom is the size of the bedroom that I had in the condo. Remember, I lived in that condo. It's crazy. Just the quality of life is better. So I think whenever you leave metropolitan areas, you're going to have a better life.
No, it is. Listen, I honestly,
what the hell's that?
I'm just putting up a sign up there. I've liked you guys on Instagram. So
he's like, I'm good. I'm safe. He's like, nah, dude, listen, I love New York. New York is New York, bro. Anywhere you go, you say you're from New York, you're like, whoa, you're from New York. Like New York just has this big aura. But when you actually live in New York, dude, it's like, it's just you have a whole different view. Like, unless you have the money to enjoy the luxury of living in New York, it's a whole different ballgame when you don't have that money or that luxury to
It,
do that. I mean, I love going into the city, Midtown Comics. We love going in. We did a lot of that stuff, but after a while, you're just like, damn, dude. And yo, now it's not even that safe.
bro,
The crime rate in New York right now is
Not
bananas.
that safe. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's jacked.
It's really crazy because it's like going because living in like the first phases of the pandemic in New York City was not great, and then when you're looking at people who are trying to chime in on it across the country when places weren't on lockdown yet, it was kind of heartbreaking because people didn't understand the listening of sirens every night and how like you heard people going crazy. Like I remember just one day, and it was like it's quiet in Parkchester. It's never been this quiet. You could hear a pin drop, and someone was walking outside and just like screaming, like everything. And all like it was just that madness of like being locked up and everything. And I think that's what it is, like people living in that type of environment where it's just really on top and you're not getting the help that you need and everything, because it's also a mental thing too. And a lot of people needed that mental help and couldn't get it. It was coming out here was a really drastic change because we were in the apartment just on that lockdown with those small walls, and it's like and I mean, I could admit it, me and my wife at some point were going through bouts of a little bit of depression here and there because it was like, it just was a depression. And then you start to realize when you move, it's like, again, as beautiful as New York is, and like you said, it's like, I feel like New York changes over age. It's like, like, for example, when you look at the history of Times Square, how like that changed, like from what it was in the 80s and 90s. I remember it being a big arcade at one point. Now it's a big shopping mall. It's just like, New York just has that thing where it can either chew you up, spit you out, and like you said, you're right, son. When you get out of the metropolitan areas, you guys, it's a bigger quality of life that you never ever dream of, and it's like something that they don't tell you about when you're living in those cities.
No, because they want that rent control. They want that. They need to keep those units filled. And when you're talking about high rises and stacking, people, they need to keep that, because when it's empty, they're not going to make any money. So they're not going to tell you, hey, you can go over here and save a whole lot more money. And it's a cycle that keeps repeating itself. It's crazy.
So Seabass, so you leave New York, right? You leave New York. You had Tone from across the hall, right? Now it's Tone from across the street. Like you guys moved
Tone down the block.
Tone from down the block. But you left what you call it, law. You left law.
Yeah. We didn't leave law. We just, he comes down and gets to visit. We didn't leave him.
That's like a getaway from law. When he goes down there,
like a plane to see you. He's got to fly.
What's funny? Yeah, there's literally an airport 20 minutes away. Like, yo, dude, just take JFK, come fly down. That's it.
Seriously,
20-minute flight. 20-minute flight. They'll put you in the baggage and drop you off. You won't even,
I know.
So for those who don't know, Seabass, tell us a little bit about the Nerds of the Round and what you guys do on that channel, because you guys have a great channel called the Nerds of the Round. For those who don't know, go over there right now to YouTube. Well, not right now, after the show, and subscribe. But tell us what the Nerds of the Round is.
Well, the Nerds of the Round, we're more of a pop culture show. We get to talk to different creators, have them on, and just geek out and talk to us with a little bit about nerdy topics. We try to squeeze in with creators who talk about some of their projects and what they're doing to give them the shout outs and everything. But it's just overall just us getting together, having fun, and talking about like topics like DC, Marvel, anime, games. Like last night again, we just covered Attack on Titan and the Peacemaker season finale. We try to give in-depth analysis when we can, but it's just more of like, unscripted, coming on there, just having fun. And it's kind of like that water cooler talk where you go to the water cooler, you're talking about the stuff, and it's just us just having fun, geeking out. So that's literally what Nerds of the Round is. Could
you see you guys doing the show live with the three of you in one room again?
We've been wanting to try to do that again with and it's funny too because we have a clubhouse over here, so I was already thinking like it'd be cool like if all we could get Law back down to do something in the clubhouse over here, set the camera up and just like film in there where it looks like some fancy living room with nerds with the fireplace in the back and then like sit there with a little like what was it, a beer in hand and trying to like with the pinky up like here we go nerds in the clubhouse. But yeah, we one of the fun things we got to do, which we posted on Instagram. Shout out to Mike Gracia on Instagram.
What's up, Mike?
On Cast the Craze, Mike, just to let you know. So yeah, one of the things we actually did an all-white t-shirt shoot when Law came out last time, and it was just like we just looked like three viejos, and I did something funny where I edited Van Diesel in the background and said family.
Oh, that's right. You guys had the white all the way with the hats and shit. That was funny, man. But see that's the beauty, man, of living out there. You guys get to barbecue in the back in the summertime. You guys just it's a different way of life now. So like as far as your creative process, do you feel more creative now that you are in all this space? Like how does that affect you creatively?
I do. I again moving out of New York, I realized a lot of stuff about like about my creative process before, came to some realities of how I was running business and all that, how I was handling conventions and everything, and it takes a lot to really like go, you know what, I kind of did this wrong, it's time to learn because I did the fail system, first attempt in learning. And so with the creative process, it's been and even like some of our friends goes, we don't know how you guys were that creative in that small apartment because Jess is very creative too. It actually has kind of helped out with the creative process because you're a little bit more relaxed. It's when I need to go take a walk, I can just go walk outside. It's not like I'm walking down a city block and bumping into a bunch of people. I mean, I walk the dog and it's just like, just taking in the fresh air, getting inspired to look at a lot of those things. And there's just been more inspiration with a lot of the creative energy out here than it was when I was in New York. Like in New York, it was the hustle bustle. We were hustling. We were trying to figure out a lot of different things. And I mean, don't get me wrong, we were very creative in New York. But moving out here, I feel like there's just more of a relax, and then it's like, okay, let me take this out. And so it's like right now, like I said, it took me. I was living in New York, and my first comic I did was in 2016. I've been waiting to really do a comic now. So out here, I've got to work on so many different great projects. Like I've got to work with Raven. I got to work with A.A. Rubin in the last what's it called? Comic book anthology for Mr. Stupendous. I'm working with someone right now, and again, my own book is pretty much near completion. With now, it's just the color phase, and I'm like the artist, writer, colorist, penciler, marketer. Got to reach out to people, guy, and everything. How it is. Right. I'm trying to be the next Sam. I'm trying to be Sam's twin right now. Sam and George's twin. Get this going. You guys are the hustlers. I'm trying to follow your footsteps. Congratulations to you guys. Whatever you guys have had the again, what you guys have done over the last year and everything too has been very inspirational too. So I thank you guys for everything that you guys have done and everything, the show, the comics, the Kickstarters, and just the advice that you guys always give.
Yeah, bro. Nah, listen, man, we learn from each other, dude. You guys also have a good. You guys have a good show. You guys have a really good show. I like the chemistry between you guys. You guys are freaking funny. So yeah, don't cut yourself. You guys do really good stuff over there too.
Listen, we'll be sure to send you more pictures of the barbecue. So don't worry.
Thank you.
Oh, the deli that Tone's always at.
Yo, that's crazy, bro.
It's like every time. It's like, yo, look at the size of this sandwich.
Joe, we discovered. So we're like 20 to 30 minutes away from this what's it called? This grilled cheese spot that Guy Fieri went to, and it was featured on his show. Yeah. So I got to try it for the first time yesterday. And Jess got their crab cake grilled cheese, and I got like the buffalo chicken with bacon. You can make your own grilled cheese. I'm like, the sandwich is like this. I'm like, bro, I wasn't hungry for the rest of the day. It was so good. I'm like, dude, I am okay. Where's my calorie count? My calorie count is like, okay, dude, check. Yeah, heart attack. There we go. But it was so good. Wow. That's another shout out.
It's like you guys should just do a show on all those places you go to get food.
Yo, that's the crazy, dude. What was the one that he had where he had the actual bone? Like it was like the
Tony Baloney's. Tony Baloney's, and they have 3 locations, and I believe Tony Baloney's too now has it's partnered with a service that you can actually get it delivered, depending on where you're at in the country. We went to this. My brother Matt told me about it. We saw that there was like one in Atlantic City, so we went there because I lost the bet because I was like, Mephisto is coming in WandaVision, and you know what? Screw you, Mephisto, for not showing up. But you know what? It was a great way to go buy some food. So I got the sandwich called the Place 3000. It is there. It's like a barbecue type sauce chicken that they do with Fritos, melted cheese, like they call it mutts and all that because I guess it's a Philly thing too.
Jesus, dude.
It was good. And then Tony got the one with the bone. So it's like you actually pull the primer bone right out of the sandwich and the meat slides right off. That's how juicy and tender the meat is and everything. I was like, it's funny too. You could see this sandwich on Chrissy Teigen's and John Legend's Instagram where they did the sandwich too, and they just put like, yo, it just comes out. So I was like, yo, it's so good.
Yeah, that is insane, bro.
That's crazy. Yeah. So what do you guys got in store for this year?
Well, in BeyondCon, we're pushing that again this year, the 20th to 21st. We're looking at ways to kind of boost up the show from what we did last year. Like what wasn't broke, don't fix. We're looking to pump up the VIP section. We want to continue to make it an educational show and a show for people to come to network. We're going to actually starting next Wednesday, launching the first ever. It's a 3 creators podcast for BeyondCon. Joe's going to be one of the first guests with Rodney Fike and Chandra Free, and I believe Sam, you're going to be the second guest on the second episode, where we're going to have 3 creators actually just talking shop, talking to each other in a more chill, relaxed environment. It's kind of like I got the idea from WWE's Table for 3. I'm like, the day with wrestlers, why not 3 for creators? We always talk shop. We like to learn from each other and network. We think that's a great way to continue to con outside of the 2 weekends that's isolated and continue to bring people that experience of doing off-site panels. With nerds, we're going to continue to look into the engagement. We actually hired Steady Hands. His name is Joe. He goes by Steady Hands on Twitch. He is actually going to redesign some of the assets for the show. We're going to be covering, we've got a list of topics to cover even more of with anime and all that. We're trying to branch out from the Marvel and the DC stuff, even though like Marvel and DC kind of like have our hands tied with so much content, but there's just so much content out there. We want to hit anywhere from 5 to 1,000 subscribers this year because I'm in the firm belief that once we do that, magical things happen. And think about maybe a spinoff show. I am thinking about doing maybe a live stream from my personal channel with doing some artwork every once in a while to just to see people can see some of my art process and my comic. If I'll give you guys a sample page right now. Give you a sample of the opening splash page. And here we go. Come on. That's screen 3, screen 2, and you don't want to show up. It's being a pain. Nope. Well, I'll get that sample page up. If it allows me to do it, and yep, it's not captured. All right.
It's that live. It's that live stuff.
It's that live lifestyle. So what I'll do is this, because I have the Clip Studio Paint thing. Let's go. And Clip Studio's been my fun go-to program.
I was going to ask you. So you're using Clip Studio Paint, right? You too, Sam? You use that one?
Oh, no. I was going to ask why that over Photoshop.
I feel that Clip, what they've done is that they've made a great app that allows us, the user, to really, really, really get a hang of using these programs and everything, because the browser can't access your screen, try capturing different screens.
I think Clip Studio too is geared more towards like the comic book creator also. Like they have built-in balloons and some of the brushes that they have.
Yeah, but you can add those assets in Photoshop too. You can add balloon assets and brush assets in there as well.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't know about you, Sebastian. I know you're looking through that stuff. For me, I think it's also like it's just it's less expensive for me to
It,
use.
it is because with Clip Studio, it's a one-time purchase,
Right.
and it's a great alternative to Photoshop,
Right.
and that's the splash page all in Clip. It's a great alternative to Photoshop. They do gear a lot towards the comic creators, animation. It's all built into one program. What I like about it too is that it actually has built-in 3D models. So let's say, for example, you need to create a reference shot because we all have that issue sometimes where it's like trying to get a foreshortened shot and all that. And sometimes with the 3D model in there, you can actually turn it around to kind of get the shot you want.
How does it handle anti-aliasing?
I
To avoid those white specks on your black lines.
It handles pretty well. It's again, every artist that uses it always calls it the great alternative away from Photoshop.
Yeah.
But
I think that the one-time purchase is like the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Because with Photoshop, you have to pay. It's a monthly subscription. You're paying $10. Even if you only have Photoshop, you're still paying $10 a month for Photoshop. But with this, like you were saying, CDAS, it's one time, boom.
And there's a lot of creators that use it. A lot of creators that make comics through it, manga and anime. Like it does everything super well. And I can say that my workflow in Photoshop and Clip has not changed. The only thing that I would say that I use Photoshop for is for certain text graphics, because that's what you still have to go back to Photoshop. Like you could put text in this, but Photoshop is going to be stronger for text graphics and additional graphical work. But if you're doing it for the drawing, the art, like this whole page, this was done all in Clip with all the effects and all that I wanted for this page.
And you do it digitally?
Yeah, this was all digital. I've been trying to get my workflow more of digital to try to speed it up to work faster. Like I like to do traditional sometimes. This is something I've never showed anybody here. Let me see. This is actually, I was just playing around with that. So this was a potential comic, a web comic I was going to do. This was done in 2019. Here we go right here.
Do you miss traditional, or do you don't?
I still do traditional every once in a while, just because I like to do certain drawings and all that in traditional, and it's fun to keep practicing that. But it's like I know that to do a quick workflow and just handle everything quicker instead of having to, because doing it digitally saves me from having to scan, having to figure out how to get the paper scanned. Because I used to have a Brother printer, and when that had issues and wouldn't scan right, and it wouldn't scan the pages right, I was like, yeah, this is not doing well. So it's kind of eliminated that whole thing with scanning it in, trying to figure out with having to get the colors on there, and if the if the lines were too light, you wouldn't see it, it wouldn't pick up everything, and sometimes the inks didn't look good in the scans, where it's like, so that's why I really went to a whole traditional route. I mean, a whole digital route right now with doing the comic. And again, with like I said, with the whole thing with the 3D models, what's crazy about Clip with the new version, because once you purchase it, you can upload and you can update for the new version. With Clip, they have like a way where, let's say, for example, you take a reference pose of yourself, like doing something like I'm going to throw a pass. You could take that same photo, and you can have Clip scan it for the 3D model, and it could put the 3D model. It's not perfect, but it could put the 3D model in that position and could do the adjustments, and then you can turn it around. It's great for references, and it's great if you want to see, like, do body studies and all that, because we're always looking for great ways to do references. A lot of people go use photo references, and being able to build that into 3D model in there and then get that. Because like for the comic that I'm doing, I used a lot of Blender and the 3D models in Clip to kind of help with some of the shots. Like I would build like a 3D mock of, like, let's say a city block or something, just to see how it would look with the perspective lines and everything.
Does it give you lighting too, like for lighting?
You can do that in Blender. You can set the lighting in Blender, but because there's some people who also, you can draw also in Blender too and put them in there. There's some people who do those tutorials, but I only use it for that, the 3D primitives, and I just want to see where the things line up, and it's helping me see perspective a lot more than trying to do it a lot freehand. Because when I was doing it a lot for freehand, like I don't have a steady hand when I draw. I've realized that I'm never going to have a steady hand. I can't have the straight flow like that when I'm doing it. And there are times where my perspective, I look at it and the way I see it, sometimes I'm a little off, and this has helped me kind of see that visually where those lines intersect and can help build those. And it's helped me build also dynamic camera shots where I wouldn't have thought about doing this particular camera shot in this angle. Or now with doing that in that motion with changing the adjusting the figure, moving the camera around in Blender to see like if I could do this shot like this will look perfect. Take the screenshot, put it there, trace over it a little bit with the lines, and then start adding the details, because once I now start to see the lines, I can add in the details I need. I know where this is going to land. I know where that's going to land. And it just helps out even more to create that beautiful shot for people to help with also moving the story. I don't try to use it too much because I don't want it to be a crutch, but it's a great tool to have in your bag. And a lot of the filters too, like there are some filters that the Clip Studio community creates for people, because Clip Studio has a community. So there's like, let's say for example, if this person did something cool, sometimes they'll put it up there to pretty much get out there. What's up, Jonathan?
What up?
Like for example, my buddy, this artist I follow, Kid, he shared a filter that actually it can make the image look like it's from an old school anime that someone had created to share with the community. And I was like, that's pretty dope for like, a nice illustration piece. So I just try to continue to play with that, with the different features and everything. And then how can I manipulate them into like then making it my own, making it like, to expand on it and not just rely on what's like, for example, I like to use like to see how people did their stuff with creating the trees or filling the lines. So it's like, okay, they did this line here, there, and then that's kind of like how I did in sales when I learned from different people. How did they approach their sales method? How can I make it my own method and grow? And where it's just my sales method now. And and I always give people thanks to that and shout outs to people. It was like, this dude, this style was dope. And it's helped with creating my own style. Because like I don't want to be like the next Joe Mad, the next Todd. I want people like, oh, this is Sebastian's art. He has a distinctive style, and
When you were working with Ari on that what is it, Mr. Stupendous?
Oh man, Mr. Stupendous, yeah.
Yeah, so he did kind of something cool where he had one story and it was going through the different eras of art, of comic book art. Which one was the one that you worked on? Whatever was it?
It was dope because he gave me the splash page, he gave me the dystopian anime page, and then I ended up because one of the artists fortunately had to drop out, so I got one of their pages, which was the Rob Leftfield page. Which that page I had fun because I was just like, what are because you love Rob Leftfield. He was one of the many rock stars people like to pick his art, and he even picks on himself like all the patches, like when he patch characters. So what I did is I created the super, like, what was the crazy thing about the 90s? Super muscular dudes, and then all the pouches, and I just threw all the pouches in there and everything, and then super big guns and everything. I was just like, let me just draw this will be dope. This is everything that was bad about 90s comics. And it was fun. The splash page was interesting because the splash page I messed with different styles, because Ari was like, he's going through different eras. So there were different eras I was drawing. One of them, I took inspiration from the Marvel's Ultimates line. So I was like, this is 2000s. I had to do a caveman version of the character. So what I looked at is like old school caveman art. So it's like I got to work in different styles and cool. Got to work with Evan Scales, Michael Gracia.
Michael had
it was great too, right? Yeah, he had a page in there. Ario, who designed the character, fantastic look for the character, and it was just fun. Like the dystopian anime, I literally borrowed from Fist of the North Star. I was like, "How's this?" Ari's like, "That is perfect. Run with it, dude." And I was like, "Dude, this is," and it was fun. Ari was very fun to work with. I love to work with Ari again, on his next project and everything. But it was fun, man.
All right, now you got your own stuff coming out. When do you expect this book to come out? Your book?
I'm hoping by the end of March, because I'm working on still the colors, and then I'm working on another book that I have an NDA on. The person who had me sign the NDA, they want to make it a streaming show, and I'm reading the script. I'm like, dude, this is a dope script. I hope you do. Like, they actually had one of the writers who worked on SpongeBob help them with the script. And he's like, this is pretty dope. And they're kind of giving me because it's like I wrote my comic script in screenplay format, so her script is written in screenplay format, so I had to create the panels, and it's been a great exercise with like learning how to create the panels and getting a little bit more freedom as art, because she's given me so much freedom on it, and I was like, I thank her for it, and I'm helping with creating the concepts and all that for the characters and her story.
Good, man. Good luck with that. Hopefully that actually jumps off.
Yeah, I keep bragging her to about you guys, sir. I'm like, yo, I got two great people whose podcast you gotta go on. You're gonna go there. They're gonna celebrate your stuff. They're gonna be awesome. I'm a big cheerleader. That's it.
Who are those guys?
I'm waiting for you to tell me, Sam.
Who are those guys?
Have you seen Pennyworth?
I have not. I think George told me about it. It's actually on my watch list.
Oh, dude.
I saw the preview and I'm like, okay, this looks good. This looks like DC's version of Stevie Carter.
Disney, DC bought it with this one.
Yeah, you know what? I thought when you told me about it, Sam, I was not expecting much. And when I watched it, I was like,
"Oh, yo, wait, hold it, Cojo Loco, take it easy, okay?"
What happened?
I'm just saying.
What happened?
Yo, you say I recommended you didn't expect much. What the hell? I put my name.
No, I didn't expect much because it was the whole DC curse.
You crazy?
You know what I'm saying? The whole DC curse of shows.
Yeah, DC doesn't have the.
That's what I'm saying.
Best track record. That's why when we came across it was me and my wife. We were like, because my wife. Very picky, and she's always having me watch like Heartland and all of these stuff, right? And I'm like, and hours and hours of it, and I'm like, come on, honey. I said, and so I'm flipping, and I said, how about this? Because it had that arrow look that she likes. So we started playing. I said, wait, this is Alfred. This is about. Said, oh, and I was like, I perked up. I was like, what? Let me see this. And I was like, yo, I'm hooked. So every night we watch one episode.
Nice.
Before we go, because I think this was it 2 seasons, George?
Yeah, 2 seasons.
Yeah. So every night we, it's
good, man.
As an episode really last night,
I'm gonna give them credit because when I heard they were gonna make Alfred Pennyworth show, I kind of slept on it because I was like, oh, we need it. And then I saw Peacemaker. We need it. And then I was like, I saw the preview. I was like, oh, I got it. It's on and I was like, I added it to the watch list because I am digging a lot of the outside the DCU stuff, like the one-shot stuff that they have, like Titans. I'm enjoying that. The Arrowverse, I'm big on the Arrowverse. I know Flash's last season, the season before, they didn't do well because it got affected by COVID. But like, yeah, it's like this comes to the point when you let fans and actually pay attention to the properties you're doing and all that. It's good, and then.
And it doesn't have to be your main guys. Like it doesn't always have to be Superman.
That's what's great about this.
Exactly.
It snuck up on people because they use. It was a great way to tell a story because I'm you're learning why, what led up to Batman's father's demise, right? Yeah. So it's like he's involved in a whole lot of stuff, So I'm like, oh snap! And then not only that, but the Ripper's in there. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's
crazy.
Good.
The Ripper. Yeah, they do have the Ripper.
The Ripper's, he scares me.
It's funny because the Ripper's in there. It's like 1950s, and they have the Ripper in there. It's like, what? Wait, what happened?
You gotta have a good baddie. You gotta use them.
Yeah.
And especially when they're public domain, you gotta use them.
They have a lot of good baddies in this.
That's true.
A lot of them.
It's on the watch list. So I'm gonna. That's it because Sam and George have co-signed on it. Sebastian says he is going to watch it. You will hear my hot take.
So look, see, I'm not a series connoisseur like you are, right? So so that's why I always joke like I go on Nerds of the Run. I got to do homework, right? So
yes, do the homework. If you're going on Nerds of the Run, do the homework.
Do the homework, please.
I fake it to make it, and so I get the cliff notes, and I saw this and I was like, when I was telling George, like, you didn't hear about this? I was like, what? And I'm surprised you didn't hear about this. You didn't watch it. I was like, because you guys watch everything. I'm like, holy shit, this is legit.
You know what it is? I think it's because and you can always see it in Law's face because he's definitely DC burnout. I think it's like a lot of it was the DC burnout because it's like you didn't know what to expect with their content. It's like, oh, you got to watch this, and then all of a sudden you watch it. It's like, this is just super trash. What's going on? Mm-hmm. So it's like right now, it's like. Because I feel some fans are so burnt out, they're missing some of the great shows that they are doing.
Yeah.
And like even like with the Arrowverse and all, there were things that they did drop the ball with, and a lot of fans were like, I'm just like the Superman show with Tyler Holstein. it's pretty good. The only thing that I go for some of the like fans, like they probably won't get the teen angst, but it's like, yeah, they're trying to get a younger audience, but they're still trying to stay true for the fans for Superman. Naomi is pretty good. It's by Ava DuVernay. Again, it's another DC character, but again, you could tell it is geared towards more younger fans than the current base because it is a newer character. But I'm not going to say it's a bad show. It is still pretty good. When I saw that Alfred was there, I was like, why do we need a show with Alfred? But then after, like I said, watching Peacemaker, when I was questioning, do we really need Peacemaker?
Dude, Peacemaker, I was like, why are they making a Peacemaker show? Yeah. And then I saw Peacemaker, and I'm like, oh, where's the dance? It's crazy. That's a good show, bro.
Where's the dance?
Yeah,
I'm going to learn that dance, and I'm going to do it.
Hysterical.
With my Chinese food in hand to ask George, when you gonna battle me, Padawan?
You know, we're gonna have to talk about this tomorrow.
Yo, she comes in. Yo, I came in the door. Bro. I said it before. I never let the mic magnetize me no more. She just kicks it open.
Yo, she's like, "Where's George?" Headshot. I'm like, "Yo, what's up?"
Boom, headshot. Boom, headshot. It's like that Call of Duty game where you got that one player on the other team that just keeps messing with you. You come out like boom. Boom!
Yo,
dude, why do you keep coming for me, man?
Yo, she said like this, like with the Chinese food. It's like that. Yo, what's up?
What up?
She in the corner like this, like, yo, George, like I want for you right now, boy.
Yo, George is playing do-do-doom. I'm looking out the front door.
Like, yo, what's up? Damn. Yo, who's going to see the Batman? You going to see the Batman?
I'm gonna see if I can see it this weekend. I know Val's gonna see it. She was like, she already got her tickets ready, but I definitely want to go see it. Because you're seeing there's a lot of good things and reviews about, but obviously, I never trust the reviewers because there's sometimes like this thing was great, and then all of a sudden you see like this thing was I don't know, dude. But
you gotta watch it yourself.
Yeah, but I get the sentiments like how many Batman movies are we gonna have? And from what Tone's point said, he read up on it, and it's actually giving us something in Batman we haven't seen in the movies. It's the detective version. So we haven't had detective Batman yet. And he says the one major complaint probably was kind of like the portrayal of Robert Pattinson's maybe I believe he couldn't separate his Bruce from his Batman. But then Val was like, made a good point was that it's like, it's a younger version of Batman, which again, we're kind of getting some retelling of the story. But I go a little bit interested to see Ben Affleck continue to do Batman, his version of Batman too, because he did kind of give us a nice Bruce and a great
I did like his version of it. That movie is also about 2 hours and 45 minutes long.
Yeah, and that's the other thing that has me debating. I was like, where can I put out 2 hours and something of my time to go see this movie? I would have loved it was on HBO Max. I'm like, I got time on Monday. Let's go. I'll just put it on, pause it, watch it again. But now it's like, nah, you gotta go into theaters with a bunch of sneezy people, a bunch of crying. Yo, what I still
you guys should be good though. Your movie theater should be pretty empty though out there, no?
One of them is it depends on when you go because when we went to go see Spider-Man, because Spider-Man Far From Home that was packed and the theater wasn't ready for it.
Really?
Yeah, I almost missed the whole beginning of Spider-Man Far From Home. I'm like, you guys weren't ready for like, what's wrong with you? Like people, there were still people online that because their ticket machine went down.
Wait, No Way Home. You're talking about No Way Home, right?
Yeah, their ticket machine was down. And the same place where they check in your ticket, because a lot of people purchase tickets in advance, where they checked in your ticket, was also the concession stand. So not only are they checking people in, they're selling the people the food. So it's like you're still waiting, and the line was going outside the door.
Damn.
So while the movie started playing, there were still people waiting outside the door to get in to see this movie, and people were missing that first beginning. I looked at Tom, I was like, oh, thank God we got in. Thank God we got in. I was like, Jesus, we missed only the first maybe 2 minutes, which is really wasn't much of anything. We missed the previews. I was like, I would have loved to see the previews, but
I love the previews. I love previews at movies.
You guys ready for it?
I'm ready, man. I think I'm gonna go. I think we're going this Friday to go check it out. So.
Are you John?
No. I bought tickets with my girl, so we're gonna go
to see Batman.
Yeah, she's Batman. She likes Batman. She's actually a Batman.
There's a new Batman movie coming out.
Wow. She's like, which one? The one with I
didn't even realize the chat is going crazy. That is me. I will outright. She'll miss you. Oh wow.
Man,
Wow.
she's a savage, bro. She's a
What's up,
savage.
San Martino? What she say?
George is Batman.
George
He
is
can
Batman.
dip.
He can dip.
Like Bat does, ask him to do a simple drawing, and he leaves saying, "I'm the knight. Where my joint?" Yo, she will not let it go. She won't let it go.
Yeah, I didn't even know Batman was coming out.
The Batman. Don't get it confused.
Batman. What's the difference?
It's a different actor.
Yeah, different actor.
I know it's the guy from the Wolf.
Twilight.
Twilight.
He's like the wolf, you know.
I knew him as Cedric Diggory, who did the kid who got killed in Harry Potter, but you know.
Oh wow.
It's like they recycle Batman like forget about it. It's nuts.
And I think that's why people are so burnt out. We have so many Batman movies, so many Superman movies. That's why it's like you skip over stuff. Like even in Titans, you have the actor who played Jiraiya in Game of Thrones. He's playing Bruce Wayne in Titans. It's like, dude, we have so many. You even had someone playing a fake Bruce Wayne in Batwoman.
Damn.
So it's like we've had so many people play Bruce and Batman. It's like
every time I watch, even in Pennyworth, like I almost like, is that little kid Batman? And I'm like, wait, he's not even born yet. Like Bruce is not even born yet, so it can't be him. But I'm constantly waiting to see, you know, a young version of Bruce or some kind of version of Bruce.
We did in Gotham.
Yeah, in Gotham.
We had a young version of Bruce. It was like he was still a kid. Alfred was taking care of him, but it was about Commissioner Gordon's story.
Gordon, yeah.
Nice. That's because Batman is the only thing that sells for DC, especially for the comic book. The problem is because they keep on telling the same story with Superman. You know, it's like, come on. You know, it's like I don't want to know about the backstory with Superman. And I don't know.
You know what was an interesting twist on the Superman origin? It was that movie Brightburn, where it took the Superman origin and it's like if he was evil. And they did it very well. And I believe if the movie had done really well, they probably would have allowed it to spin off into different sequels because they showed other characters, like a version of Wonder Woman, a version of like it had this whole thing that happened at the end of this newsreel. Yeah. And I believe there was another movie because the director who did that had done another movie. They were like, yeah, they confirmed that character was in there. That was like their version of Batman. But Brightburn was pretty good.
Yeah, you know, they had I was watching that animation called Dropping Bombs. We should have, they had that cartoon, what is it, Monsters and Gods, where what if Superman was raised by a Hispanic family?
Yeah.
Hispanic families.
And
you should have seen him. Yeah, I think Benjamin Bratt played him or something like that. I was like, wow, we are reaching right now. Holy
no, you know what's funny? I was watching the animation. Yeah, I'm jumping everywhere. The animation for Constantine.
Ooh,
that was cool.
Constantine is good. I mean,
the soup turning evil. Yeah.
Yeah, they did. I just think like with Brightburn, they did it where it's like if he was young and he did it, where Injustice was like Superman turned evil because of the whole thing with Lois. So Constantine gets a lot. Constantine, even the actors who've played Constantine, it's just it has such a deep fan base in the property. Like even the actor who plays him right now, who's been on Legends and had his own show, he loves the character and he tries to do very well by the fans and always is loving to the fans and everything, and is always trying to portray the character. And I know what was it? They were talks that they want to maybe have Keanu Reeves reprise the character.
Well, Keanu Reeves says that's the only movie that he wants to do again. Is Constantine.
That and I guess he already did Bill and Ted.
Yeah, and he did Matrix.
Matrix. He's bringing them all back.
He's just casting the check. We didn't need that last Matrix movie. That movie was that movie was so meta on how the director was saying that we didn't need this movie that they made fun of their own movie. I was like,
damn, really? I didn't even watch it, bro. I didn't even see it.
If you're a fan of the original trilogy, it's if you miss it, you didn't miss anything much. There was great stuff that they introduced in the movie, but they didn't elaborate anything on it. It kind of all took a back seat, and I was like, I'm glad I didn't go to the theaters to see it.
Did you watch the second season of The Witcher?
Yes, actually,
that was crazy.
I got to also sit in on a screener that featured Henry Cavill.
Oh, right, you were doing it, right?
Yeah. Netflix did a digital screener, and Henry Cavill did a Q&A, and he loves the character. That second season
was crazy.
bro.
was legit. It was
He
legit.
said, bro.
Yo, that was like what?
You love it.
You know,
It's like that first season was just like, okay, we're gonna give it to you. And
it
then
was a
that
tease.
second season was like, wham!
Wham! You got punched in the face. It's like, yo, that second season was like Krista coming into our chat.
Now I understand. Now I
Boom!
understand exactly what that was like. Okay, now I get it. I haven't seen
In
it.
this
but now
corner,
I-
we have Crystal. In this corner, George.
Yo, she's really coming for me, bro. When it comes to
bootleg.
movies, the best way is the bootleg.
Fordham Road.
Fordham Road.
Oh damn!
Oh, Fordham, I miss you, Fordham.
Oh, no,
I
you don't. No,
I
you
know
don't.
Oh, the traffic. I don't miss that.
You do not miss Fordham Road.
Yeah, and I saw the animated of Witcher 2. I enjoyed that one as well.
Yeah, that one. That was a prequel with this guy, the one who was became his teacher and everything. That was a really phenomenal thing. And then they're coming out with a prequel show for The Witcher. Another
That
live
whole brand is legit. You know, it's like they're killing it. I mean, he's doing the man. You know what I love about it? The suspense. You know, the drama. You know, you're trying to figure it out. You know, who do you trust? Who do you don't trust? Yo,
Shows like that.
yo. When
Where's
where's
Tone? Where's Tone for the spoiler alert?
when she was killing when she started killing everybody, bro, and it was actually the other one. She was taking credit for killing him. Remember? And he's like, he did. Yo, it was crazy. The plot twist is no joke.
They got few games and books.
Yeah, the books,
Witcher's
the
huge.
games, and then the series. And it was a great plot.
George didn't like Blade. When did George didn't like Blade? Johnny, where you at? Come in here. I will talk.
Crack
Crystal?
knuckles. I ain't afraid of better, George. I'll win because I can stay up past 9:30.
Word. Yo, what time is it? Yo, it's
Yo.
9:01.
Yo,
You
George,
better wrap this
George
up.
gets
You better
nervous
wrap
when he
this up.
sees Krista. He's like,
Yo,
yo,
it's like
are you
Debo.
up there?
It's like seeing Debo. It's like seeing Debo, bro.
Like seeing Debo.
Like,
Friday, kid.
she's coming on the bike, like. Girls like, yo. It's like he's like Smokey hiding.
When I see Crystal, I'm like,
He's like, I'm out.
look, I'm out.
That gotta be the next what was it? Cast Crazy series. You see, just George was running for Crystal, like
Yo,
crazy named Crystal. George like, yo, I can't.
George is like this on the camera. He's like this on the camera. He's like this. You still there, Sam? Is she still there?
You just got George hiding. You just got George hiding between the panels. Like, yo, is she there? Just get out between the panels.
Yo, for real. Yo, substitute Bentley for Crystal. It's over.
Oh,
It's over.
oh no!
It's
You
over.
crazy?
Oh, you crazy.
Don't make me go MSA. Focus on you.
Oh man.
mean.
This is, bro. I just gotta say that this is too much content to keep up with and watch everything and read. It's so, but there's just so much. Like Halo is dropping a show on Paramount Plus.
Damn.
I
I know Paramount Plus. You see, even Peacock. I mean, for those people who grew up watching The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you saw how.
Oh, it's pretty. It's really good actually.
Is it? Peacock.
It is.
So Peacock Plus has The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but if it was a drama,
Yeah,
not a comedy.
Right.
They
it's
split it.
funny. Do you know how that started though?
Yeah. Go ahead, tell him.
On social media.
Yeah, someone had created like a mock commercial. Will Smith got wind of it and just loved the idea, and so it's been a pretty good show. I like their portrayal of the characters. Not to take away from it, you could tell it's definitely a different take. You could tell but it's like the
It's
version.
right for the times.
Yeah, it's right. It definitely is, and it touches up on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And
Who would have thought? Who would have thought that scene where the guy gets hit with the basketball in the head? It was funny in the 90s. Now it's like, oh, this kid got hit in the face with a basketball, and it just boom, and like the show just jumps off.
but you think about it, because in the 90s, because at the time you couldn't talk about these topics in the 90s.
Nah.
When they did it was a comedy, and it was like, just in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is to this day it's a great show.
It's a good show.
With an all personal color cast, and now you're able to redo this in a serious way where now you can talk about these things, because growing up in the barrio in the 90s and all that, if stuff like that happened, it wasn't like, oh, we're gonna laugh about it. No.
Come Michael Jordan crying me. That's messed up. Yo, that's foul. That is foul. Yo.
Oh, Peacock also picked up Twisted Metal, which is going to be by Mackie.
Huh.
Which, if
I don't even know what that is.
It's an old video game on the PlayStation where think about car combat. Think about Street Fighter with cars. It's this car combat, Street Fighter with cars mixing with Mad Max.
What is that word? Symmetrical?
I don't know. Maybe symmetrical. I'm thinking symmetrical.
That's it. Word of the day, kids. Symmetrical.
Yo, that's not symmetrical, man.
Yeah. The Pee Wee Playhouse thing that comes out like.
This is Aspalaculus. What you say?
Yo, so they got all that coming out. Huh? Sweet Tooth for life.
Yep. Yeah, and it's gonna be by and it's just interesting because I think video games would do better as shows than movies because video game movies don't really hit well. Witcher's already proven that where they have a lot of source material. Hopefully with Halo,
because there's so much story to tell.
Well, I like Max Payne.
You know what it is? There's so much source material. Like
I enjoyed Max Payne. Come on,
you got
man.
crickets? You got the crickets?
Fucking the Funky Bunch. It's such a good
I
foundation.
was like,
don't say that to a gamer. Say I'm gonna warn you now. They will be, you like Max?
yo, I wonder how
Resident Evil was good. You don't like the Resident Evil series? Not one of them?
But you see how many they had to make.
I don't like the 3D ones. The 3D the version ones, I don't like those. I like the one with the actress.
What happened with the Resident? So when you play the Resident Evil games, there's just so much backlog and everything that the characters that when they started bringing them into the movie, they became afterthought. It became about a character they created for a movie.
That's why it's perfect for someone like me who's never played the game.
If you haven't played the game,
seeing the movie, I'm enjoying the movie for what it is.
They gotta make a movie about Pitfall, bro. Just make that movie. Make Pitfall. Make that movie. Make it.
They did. It's called Joss Whedon's Justice League.
Oh,
man.
Pitfall on its own.
Damn.
No, I mean it's great when you have.
She said it sucks. Because she's a gamer. That's why.
Gamers. But no, if you're not a gamer, yeah, it's like
fucking get his mic. Yo, I'm not a gamer, so I don't know.
And that's great.
Like, for instance, I read the Da Vinci Code, the book. I didn't like the movie because the book was brilliant and Tom Hanks was wrong for the movie. So I get it. So if you're a gamer, you're looking at it from that perspective. If you're not and you're seeing it for what I enjoyed it, I wasn't like a diehard fan like I am of Lord of the Rings, but I enjoyed it.
No, they were enjoyable, but it's like we don't count it as that Resident Evil like it was, because when you start to look at the canon and you start to read the books and all, because Resident Evil came out with books, they came out with animations, and a lot of the animations were just continuations of the character stories from the games. So it was very, very, very.
You know what game movie sucked? World of Warcraft.
I heard.
That was horrible.
I already knew it. World of Warcraft is not going to be a good movie.
No, you know why? You know what bothered me about it? The movie trailers for the game is phenomenal. So I expected that quality and that drama to translate into big screen. They just dropped the ball with it on that. I was like, so I understand that from that perspective. Because it was just like, what is this? This is not.
It's like, for example, Game of Thrones, right? Big fan of Game of Thrones. I've never read any of the books. If I read the books, maybe I don't know, because Tone's a big fan of them. He also read the books, right?
Well, he hasn't finished the books.
Because the books aren't even done, though.
Yeah, so when they created the ending for the show, it's very
killed that season.
Yeah. So you read the conversation. So George R.R. Martin says that he asked them like, how do you think the thing was going to end? That's how he was going to decide to let them do the show. And so they made up something. They told him, and he was like, "Cool, I think it's in good hands." That's what he thought. They had so much source material to follow up until when they finally caught up, and they even left stuff out that George is still doing in the books. Yeah. And like stuff that didn't even make it to show, like what was it? The Stark's mother was supposed to come back. She comes back as someone else in the books. they completely butchered it. Like they just, and HBO from what we were, HBO actually wanted them to do another season to help wrap it up.
Really?
Yeah, and they said no.
Damn.
And they hyped up this last season. That last season was only was hyped up for really one episode, which was that whole night battle with the walkers at the keep and everything.
Yeah.
Arya,
where Arya comes up.
Yeah,
with the dagger,
that whole battle was hyped up for that. Then it just fell flat throughout that season.
Because winter was coming throughout the whole show, and when it finally got there, it was like, okay, we got it, and now what do we do? Like it came, now what? You know what I mean?
Like, and in the way that they wrapped up some character story arcs, it didn't. You felt cheated this whole time.
Yeah, I think it was a slow build. And then the last season is like they put so much. I don't know if they ran out of money and they were like, you know what, let's just pack it in.
They didn't. They
like, what the hell? They could have made another season.
These guys, they D&D. That's what they're called. The movie is got Brie Larson. Once the truthful was a man. You know. Yeah, and I agree. I agree. As far as it goes, yeah, no. What happened was that they were supposed to actually work on one of the Disney Star Wars stuff. And Disney, after what they saw what they did with Game of Thrones, they quietly let them go. And then so they were kind of bragging about stuff like, yeah, we like they were bragging like how they messed up Game of Thrones, like we didn't know what to do. So then Disney came out and said, no, we fired them.
Oh. Why, they were supposed to do a show for Disney?
They were supposed to work on a Star Wars project for Disney, and the belief is that they rushed that Game of Thrones season to go hop over to work. And because like again, HBO said that no, we gave them an opportunity to get another season because people love the show. And it's understandable. If you're a showrunner, you probably want to go do other stuff, but you know, you
had a success in your hand. You ride that wave until you hit shore.
Dude,
and they forced the crash.
Obsessed with it. Obsessed.
Yeah, because I mean, even like the ending, it was like, come on, man. You know, it's like it should have been Jon Stark. You know, like how is that? How is he going back to the wall? It's like punishment. I was like, are you crazy? That's not my boy. He came back from the dead to go back to the wall.
It was just bad,
nuts.
You heard about how depressed he was after the show wrapped, right? Like he was just like the actor himself was just like he couldn't handle the fact that the show was over.
Yeah, and he had to kill her. He was like,
I think some of them do.
Yeah, right.
How do you feel about movies straying from the source material, taking creative liberties? Me, I'm not a big fan of it. George, Sam, retort.
Like go.
So, honestly, when you stray from the source material, it's like this. Like you could see with Marvel, they pull from different sections of the source material, but they're also trying to make it original for the MCU because there are parts in comics and all that in source material that just will not work on screen, and there's portions of stories that will not work. Now, when you diverge too much from the source material, I see there are creators who diverge from the source material but still have a love and respect, and usually that's the stuff that does well. But when you have no love for the source material and you're just going to do your own thing and just use character names, for example, the Fox X-Men franchise, when Olivia Munn was quoted saying that she had to tell the directors about her character because they knew nothing, and we saw where the X-Men franchise went. It just bombed. And they hired, and this was Fox's mistake, they hired the same director who did the original Dark Phoenix movie to do the other Dark Phoenix movie, the second one, and it bombed. So when you have a love for the source material and stray from it, you're going to bomb. But when you have a love and respect, you're going to treat the character still with respect, even if you kind of stray away from the source material to make it your own.
I think that's why The Witcher is so good, right? Because Cavill loves that shit. Like he knows it.
Cavill is a big Witcher nerd. He's read the books and he's just off like
Jon Favreau. He's a big Star Wars fan. You know, you have to love it. Well, so look, but they realized that. And here's what I think. See, here's what I think happened. Because everybody forgets this. When they're creating this stuff, they always do screenings, studio screenings for the episodes or whatever. I am sure that they were in there. One of the producers like, oh shit, yo, this is not working. We need to bring the Mandalorian here.
They
We need
throw
to
him in
change
there.
it up. So people thinking that I'm telling you, in the green room, the screening rooms, they're in there like, yo, this ain't working. The theme, even the Mandalorian theme song, when they played that when he was coming on, it was like, oh, it's like when you sing, was it Goku? And I'm like, yo,
Goku.
wasn't it Goku or
He said
Goku?
I said,
Grogu.
Grogu. I mean, it's like, yo, it's crazy, so it's like you had to save it because they made him an old soft dude. When Boba Fett was a killer from Manila, he was a silent beast, and
My
all of a
man
sudden
had
now he's like,
dad
what should
bod,
I do?
bro. A
Like,
dad bod? Come on, man.
the
Boba
only
Fett?
more dad bots.
Nah, man. Not Boba Fett, man.
the only way that it would have worked if we were going to get the Boba Fett that people wanted to see is if they did a prequel show before he went to Sky City, because they could cast a younger actor. But because they used the older actor, he's not going to do all that stuff. And I believe the route that they wanted to go was to make Book of Boba a crime show in the heart of Star Wars universe.
Yeah,
there you go. I mean, there are elements that worked in it, and there are elements that didn't. There are things I would have changed, like the speeder bikers. I wouldn't have given those colorful bikes.
No.
I would have gave them dusty looking, because you're on this planet that's a dust bowl. And if you have something shiny, like it's going to stick out. So that felt out of place. I understood what they were doing, but in that particular setting, it fell out of place. I would have gave them beat up dirt bikes, like, something like that. Like, it's dirty and everything. It will fit the aesthetic.
Those bikes would have been great in a metropolis area, with the lights and the whatever, but not there. It's like, and I just think if they're telling, I think they should have, like you said, they should have told two different stories. The young and the old. The old after that afterlife, the young going through that learning that he did with the Sand People and all that other stuff. Yeah, I just think and then the standout characters was the female. If it wasn't for her, he'd be dead a long time ago.
Yo, bro, it was too much. It was too much where he couldn't make decisions. I remember the last episode when the thing had gotten where the club had been blown up, and he's like, "Yo, we have to go to the palace. We're gonna be safer there." The dude with the eye, whatever, the young cat is like, "Nah, we're gonna stay here." He's like,
Tell me about that spin move.
Oh my god, it was terrible. How corny was that, bro? Oh my god, dude.
Oh my god, yeah. Someone created a reel where they took him and they just put his spin in loop, but then they took the other scenes where people were just getting shot all over, so it's just him doing a continuous.
And for me, you're soft the entire movie. Then you're the one who's going to take out Cad Bane. It should have been the Mandalorian and Cad Bane going at it.
They took that.
I was like, wait, how did you take out bad Cad Bane when you couldn't even get out of your sauna? I was like, get out! What the hell?
I had to pick it back off of Law because Law wanted to see Fennec and Cad Bane, and I think that would have been a good fight because
been good too. I would have taken that too.
And also too, what they like again too in the past sequences. If you were gonna do that, I would have done like a young actor as a young Boba and show what he did before, and then now this is just his path of repentance, And I feel like those flashbacks, because like the Sand People flashback scenes, they were pretty dope because now we got more of the Sand People and learn a little bit more about their culture, but I don't feel like it was I don't feel like it helped Boba at all in terms of the show. I get what they were trying to do, but I would have done the past sequences of what he did before, how he was ruthless, and then maybe you throw a little bit more Cad Bane in there, and it would be more understandable of that whole beef, especially for people who don't know who Cad Bane is, who's coming in this for the first time, because they're telling, well, go watch the animations. We got a lot of Cad Bane there, but it's like, no, you have an opportunity to tell this show. And again, the fans, it's such a mixed bag with this show.
I know.
Especially coming from the Mandalorian, and people make fun of it. They go with Mando when he's trying to pick up the saber, and they're like, "Is someone created a meme? Like he's like, why is the saber so heavy?" And then you see the person playing like, "Well, that's what happens when you're carrying the whole Star Wars franchise."
Damn. Yeah, with the Sand People, and I know what they were trying to do. I get it. They humanized them. They really try to humanize them. My problem with them is in animation, for example, right? When a character doesn't have his mouth to speak or whatever, you got to go with the eyes. The eyes give you the emotion. The problem with the Sand People is they had no emotion. So I didn't feel any kind of connection to those characters. As much as they wanted me to feel it, I personally didn't. And it was because there was just nothing coming through. They just looked like cold people, which is what I guess what they were. But I know they were trying to, hey, he's going to build this friendship with them. And then when they're killed, you should feel something for them. I didn't. I didn't.
It is tough because you're relying on the emotions, and I think that's something they should have worked on a little more, because it's like you could have worked on the emotions more with the body language of a character, because when you're doing that too, that could have helped, because it really is tough, because like when you see the Sand People in any of the Star Wars franchise, you always think about them as this one-dimensional cold person, and I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to flesh them out.
I just think this was a quota. They needed to fill a slot. They said, get this done, blah, 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 blah.
Night's coming.
Shortcuts.
We need something in the middle.
Creative liberties. Let's get some shiny and put that in there. And I think that's why they got such a lot of backlash.
Let's be real. It was Mandalorian season 3.
The Mandalorian set the tone. And that was what they had to meet. That was the expectation, the standard they had to meet, and they couldn't meet that standard.
Well, they gave us a few good things. I was glad to see Black Chrysanthemum jump from the comics into
that was cool.
Because Black Chrysanthemum now. We got to see that world that what was it? Mando went to when he was looking for his people, that satellite world, which the bikers would have fit on that. We got to see the beginning of Luke Skywalker. So I feel like this, like how you said, Sam, this was to meet some quotas. Like they were doing Mando's reunion with Grogu, so that this way they didn't have to focus on doing that in season 3 of Mandalorian. So now we could just jump
checklist.
Checklist.
Get this done, get this done, get this done, get this done. I like the Luke part. I thought that actor, the way, I mean, it's like, whoa, when I saw who it was, and I was like, oh.
Well, that was
I didn't like that whole thing. Like, I don't even know why that was brought in. You said like the quota, right?
But that was a whole phenomenal scene in itself as a Star Wars fan, because you have Ahsoka Katana, who was Luke Skywalker's father's pupil, because she was originally his Padawan, and then so now you have the original Padawan meeting the son of the person who trained you. And literally having that dialogue, because we never had anything like that or seen them share a scene in the Star Wars universe. So now that footage is there of those two characters sharing a scene together with one connection.
Check.
Checkbox.
Checklist.
What's next from the franchise? Is it
Obi-Wan?
Obi-Wan.
That I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, it looks pretty good, and I think they're going to be
Fingers crossed. Let's see what happens. But guys, it's 9:21. What do we got? What do we got left to do here? Because I'm getting a little sleepy.
You're full of shit.
It will wake you up, bro.
I'm like, This is I asked for it. This is why I get the hate.
This is why you get. That's why you stop acting up, homie. There's a lot of stuff happening in film right now. It's crazy,
dude. So what are you guys going to be covering next on the Nerds? Seabass, what do you guys got planned?
We're looking to eventually cover Demon Slayer, which is a pretty good show in manga, because Demon Slayer it's coming to an end as a manga. It's one of the it's pretty good. If there's an anime I want to recommend to you guys, is that and Attack on Titan. We're definitely going to be talking about Moon Knight. We have our buddies from Australia who are coming over to talk about their comic again, free comics. Matt Shore is coming back on to talk to us about his latest Kickstarter, and then talk geek with us. So we have quite a few things that we're going to talk about regarding with Nerds, and this, we're just, again, if it's coming out, we're just going to talk about it. I believe next week is probably going to be a free-for-all episode. We may have a guest on next week to talk about this stuff once they follow up and everything, because keeping up people, things happen, and move around, which we always are happy to have people on. But yeah, we're just gonna geek out. And Moon Knight, we're definitely keeping an eye out for the Moon Knight. If we can get to see the Batman this weekend, because I am celebrating the birthday this weekend, hitting the big 4-0. So
that's right.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I see the Grays coming in and everything.
I am. He's embracing it.
I'm aging like this is my Dumbledore here. I'm training to be a white wizard.
Dumbledore.
Or
Yeah,
Gandalf.
bro.
I'll be Gandalf. I'll be more Gandalf. Let's go with that one.
You're about to join the 40 club. All right.
Yeah, 40. That's awesome. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play Edward 40 Hands.
40 hands. Nice. Now, are you guys going through?
Well, no. Apparently,
When is the actual birthday? When is it?
Saturday.
Saturday.
So I'm joined the last few days of 39. Yes, old man Sebastian. Now that's it.
Oh,
Yeah, no, we have a lot of fun stuff planned up, and we're just looking at a lot of shows, and we want to branch out from the Marvel and DC shows and start talking about more of the anime shows coming on, all the other shows. And we're gonna try to see if we can actually cover Halo, because I know it's gonna be a CBS Paramount Plus. And we're just gonna be talking nerdy. Talking to
nerdy, baby.
Sam, nerdy.
Nerd.
Talk nerdy to me.
Well, Seabass, thank you so much for coming on, my brother.
Yeah,
Thank you guys for always having me on. I'm always looking at it. It's always fun to invade.
You actually got it. You actually got Sam to talk some nerd stuff, bro. Like that is incredible.
well,
Sam,
you guys are so into Marvel. I'm like, yo, dude, 'cause I'm not a big Marvel guy, but I like the alternative stuff. So
I want to check out Moon Knight though. I got to be honest.
oh yeah, I'm waiting for that to pop off because I have my Moon Knight collection. I have every Moon Knight done by Stephen Platt, signed by Stephen Platt, bagged and board that I got about 20 years ago. It's still in my box.
I didn't even know I had the original run of Moon Knight when it first came out, issues 1 through 10.
You want to know what's great about this show is that Kevin Feige actually let Oscar Isaacs, the actor who's playing Moon Knight, give a lot of input with playing the character. So it's going to be very interesting, his take. And from what they said, one of the things is that he's going to change since it's multiple characters that he's going to be playing, because that's Moon Knight. Yeah. He's going to be changing the way how his speech sounds and everything, the dialect.
Damn, all right.
It's like, and Oscar Isaacs is phenomenal. He was wasted as Apocalypse. Wasted as he's now doing the role that he is meant to do, and it's like, they're like, dude, you taking L's and so much stuff. We're gonna, come on, we got you though. Come home.
Yeah, it's gonna be hot. So when's that coming out?
This month, March 30th, I think.
It's going straight to theater first?
No, it's the series. The series on
Disney Plus.
Oh wow,
it's a show. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm looking forward to that show.
Bro, you got that show. You have She-Hulk. You have
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk.
Who's playing that?
No, the actress from Orphan Black. It was an actress from Orphan. She plays the main character in Orphan Black.
She's gonna be the She-Hulk. Well, Orphan Black. If you don't know what Orphan Black is, she was phenomenal.
Yeah,
she's gonna be She-Hulk.
Oh wow, Orphan Black. She played the Seven Sisters or whatever.
Yeah,
she was amazing.
Yeah.
My sister. Yes. Oh, I love that shit.
And what's his face who played Daredevil in the Netflix shows? They're saying he's gonna be in it. The actor who played Abomination in the last Hulk movie is gonna be in it. Mark Ruffalo is gonna be in it. It's gonna be 10 episodes from what they said, and it might be Marvel's first comedy.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah, because She-Hulk dabbed in comedy in the comics at one point.
Right.
You know what movie I liked with Mark Ruffalo?
Which
13 one? Going on 30.
I gotta go.
You know that movie.
Good night, everybody. This is George Jr. Medina. Peace. This mama.
Sebastian,
that movie had Elektra and Hulk in it. So
yes, they had two. I'm telling you, I love that movie. I'm telling you.
Listen, that's the married man speaking right there.
That's the married dancing. Oh shit!
I'm done.
Anyway.
I'm done.
We gotta go one on top. That's how we do it.
We just hit rock bottom. I believe we lost like 3 watchers right now. We're down to 2.
Oh,
Crystal's not even saying anything.
Wait. All right. So we're gonna end it on this true story.
Oh boy.
I worked for H&M at one time. I was a regional security man, traveled, right? And so they required you to wear dress down. No matter what rank you were, they wanted you to dress down, no suits, none of that stuff, whatever. So I saw this hoodie and I thought, oh, this hoodie's fly. I just like the colors. I didn't know. I just picked it up and said, oh, boom. And we were going, I think we were in Atlanta. And And it was chilly, so I had the hoodie, whatever. So we're going to this restaurant for lunch, and there's a bunch of girls online, and they're like, "Oh, are you a believer?" I was like, "I'm sorry." She goes, "Oh, we just love. But did you go to the concert?" And I'm like, "I said, what's a believer?" It's like I had a Justin Bieber shirt on.
This angle right here. Oh my God.
Yeah, we're gonna hold your hand through this life. Don't worry, we're gonna help guide you.
And they kept talking to me. I had all these teeny bops, and then I'm like, "Oh my God, I just got cred in the streets with the teens." I'm a believer.
You're a believer?
I don't feel bad for you. Don't worry, because you know what? I'm happy you did that, because that's like seeing these young kids wear a Nirvana shirt. And like, do you know who Nirvana is? Like, what's a Nirvana?
Yeah. Oh my God.
It was fly. It had all these like, it looked like what it was like Japanese with the symbols and all that stuff. I didn't know it. I was like, oh man, that was pay attention to the details. Yeah, I'll give you details. So that was another great show on Casting. You know me, I don't mind sharing all these goofy stories about me.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, so I do want to say thank you to everybody who joined us tonight. Hector Rodriguez, who dipped a long time ago. He's like, "Yo, Sam's not talking about the freaking the government cheese." Yo,
government cheese no more.
Yes, Johnny Cyphex, Krista Joy, Michael San Martino. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and everybody who's been watching us on Facebook. They've been hiding. Thank you. We appreciate every single one of you. Thank you, Seabass, and happy birthday.
Yes,
look at that. Just got to get some ink to dye your beard. You're good.
Wow, I'm gonna dye it all gray. I'm telling you, I'm gonna come on the show one day. I'm gonna be like, I am Gandalf. You shall not pass.
Yes.
Oh man.
So guys, that's another great episode of Catch the Craze podcast. We appreciate every one of you. If you like this episode, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. Please share it with a friend. And if you're listening to us on the streaming platforms, please give us a 5-star rating. And oh, snaps.
The ghost.
Oh, snaps.
It's the ghost.
The believers. The believers are coming.
Take care of that, Justin. Take care of that, Justin. Please subscribe to the channel, like, comment.
And don't forget there's 6 days left. There's the alien in my toilet. If you haven't done so already, please pledge today. We're trying to give away a 6-inch figure. We need to get to 150 backers. Let's give away that figure. With that said, I am Sam the Crazy Man Vera.
George the Dreamer Medina.
And we are it's just easy. It's not.
Crazy. Acquiesce.
No, I was talking about my friend Acquiesce. I met him. Say my name, right? This is what you were thinking? Oh, my. He described me. He said, I'm the
What? Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. To Catch the Craze. You are listening to Catch the Craze on Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze.
Girl.